Hey everybody, I'm DeanaCarter, TGIF. Thank God I'm forgiven. Thank God you're forgiven. Today is Friday, May the 22nd, 2026. I'm so happy that you're here with me, enjoying a little bit of beautiful weather before we hit the road. We will be so busy in California this weekend. I'm super excited. We're going to be in Fresno. We will be in Canyon Lakes, and we'll be in Paso Robles. So you guys go to deana.com for more details and check out our tour schedule this summer. We're going to have a big time, lots and lots of fun, and we'd love to have you with us. So today is our 409th TGI episode, and the title of today is Humility and a Good Name. Do you think a good name matters? Maybe not. I don't think kids think about that anymore, our young people, but it sure does. And I don't know anybody walking around that doesn't care about their name being right in school, about it being pronounced right, like me, hello, Deana, not Deanna, Deana with one N, it being spelled right. Your name says a lot about you, and God talks about that in His Word. So we're going to be hopping into Proverbs 22 today. We're going to focus on 3 specific verses. I know last week I read all of Proverbs 15, and it can get a little bit long, but thank you for your patience with me. Let's dive in and see what it says. You know, I was raised pretty old school. My parents lived by their word. Handshake deals were as good as legal agreements to them and my grandparents. If you gave somebody your word, you would be there. And to this day, if I make a commitment, I try everything within my power to fulfill what I have said I would do. And it's just a matter of following through with what you say you're going to do when you commit to it, because your name, that is your reputation, what you stand for, it needs to hold some water. Your name means something. You don't want somebody to say your name and be like, oh, dread to see you coming, or roll their eyes, or have some kind of reputation. And barring, we're not all perfect, and I have made some terrible mistakes that I wish I could take back, that I'm sure some people on this earth are like, oh my gosh, aren't happy to see me coming. But I would hug them and ask for forgiveness if I could go back and do it again, because my name matters to me, especially the older we get. Choices matter. How we walk out our life matters. And it matters to not only to you, but to your whole family. And to your future, your reputation. That's what's important. And I haven't always done that. I've been married more than one time. I have not always done people right until I had to learn some lessons and understand some ways of living and have God work on my heart. And He has done that and is continuing to do that in me. And that's why I share this with y'all, because it is so important to pursue right things and good things and go as straight of a path as you can to avoid heartache for yourself and hurting other people. So let's hop over to Proverbs 22 and let's focus on verses 1, 4, and 6. We'll look at some of the notes for that too. Okay, Proverbs 21 says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. That is so true. If people can count on you, if you have a good reputation, a solid character, you can't buy that. Like, that is something you earn because of how you live, your conviction, what you stand for, doing what you say you'll do. The notes here say we must guard our name, character, and reputation for the sake of the gospel. Absolutely, for the sake of God's character in us, but also for our families and our children, right? If men think evil of us, let it only be for the cause of righteousness. There are going to be people that laugh at you for doing the right thing or refusing to do the wrong thing. So you got to be prepared for that. All right, let's look at verse 4. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Just chew on that, y'all. By humility and fear of the Lord are honor, riches, and life, or riches and honor and life. All of those things, from being humble, helping others, being willing to not be first. And then the fear of the Lord, which we talk about, that reverence and respect, gratitude, in that is honor, riches, and life. Amazing. What do the notes say? Those who refuse to humble themselves will eventually lose their possessions, their dignity, and their very life. However, those who walk in humility of heart and obey God store up an eternal treasure in heaven. So it's not just your reputation here. If you are being faithful and pursuing righteousness, right things, you are storing up an eternal treasure in heaven. They will preserve their life and be honored by God himself. His word says that. Humility is daily clothing of the Christian, says Bruce Garner. All right, let's look at verse 6. What does it say? Getting treasures by a lying tongue is the fleeting fantasy of those who seek death. Wow. Getting treasures by a lying tongue is the fleeting fantasy of those who seek death. Wow. I guess that means that you'll get what's coming to you if you're a liar. And even if not in this life, definitely in the life to come, in the afterlife, in the everlasting. For some reason, that makes me think about taxes. Because we just did taxes. So let's see. Getting treasures by a lying tongue is the fleeting fantasy of those who seek death. You know, if you're cheating on your taxes, and of course we all write off as much as we can, but I do try to do it honestly. I have a credit card for my business and a credit card for my personal stuff. And I really do know that God can see what I'm charging and what I'm writing off and claiming as business or personal. And so I try to be honest in that, not have a lying tongue, right? And what do they say? You can't escape death and taxes. That verse kind of talks about that. What does the note say here? It says, it's been rightly said that taking the easy path is what makes men and rivers crooked. Ooh, that is so true. There is so much, y'all, in these Proverbs. I encourage you to just sit and read one chapter a day of Proverbs. It's so great and such good advice. You could just take a little chunk and say that to your kid for the day. Here's one for me. He who loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. That is amazing. Because if I'm never working, if I just want the easy life, right? That's going to deplete everything. I'm not building anything. That's just spending and wasting and, I guess, absorbing instead of producing, right? He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. If you spend all your money on leisure extravagance, then you're not going to have much to show for it in the end, right? Wow. I definitely love wine and oil, so that's something to be mindful of. Everything in proportion. So it is so important to never forget that everything that we have comes from God, so that we remain humble. We don't say we did it ourselves. I did this. This is mine's. This is mine's. I did all this, and try to take all the credit for ourselves and away from maybe a team, and especially away from God who provides all of it. We got to remain humble and understand, be grateful, and know where our blessings come from so that our pride can stay in check. And we also have to be willing to offer everything that we have up to the Lord. We're supposed to lay our plans out before Him, the desires of our heart. It's okay to talk to Him about it, but dedicate it to Him. Say, Lord, this is what I really want to do. This is what I feel led to do. Can you make it clear what I should do? And as I'm taking steps in the direction that I'm trying to follow my heart in seeking you, can you show me the way? And if I make a mistake, then just fix it. He will. So I guess that's it. The Proverbs are so rich with guidance. And, Hayes being a college graduate now and starting his adult life on his own, it's going to be really fun to watch him. And I want him to protect his name and his reputation and know that that matters, to follow through with interviews, be on time when you get a job, work with all your heart, even when you're situation can be frustrating sometimes. Do it with love and gratitude and humility. And it's also, y'all, about how we speak. Our name matters in our dialogue. Are we letting the words fly, saying a whole bunch of bad cuss words? Oh, they do fly out of my mouth sometimes, but I do try to work on it. And listen, just this casual lingo of such foul language, I guess, just blows my mind. We were at this nice dinner at Hayes' graduation, and the parents were all sitting around this big table, and the nice, well-to-do, nice dressed couples, and they were older than we are, and they were just like effing everything as adults there to celebrate their kids. And like, that was the adults doing it. The kids weren't even there. So the adults are doing it on their own. And then when the kids show up, there's no like respect. And especially, I mean, it's disrespectful. My mother was sitting with us. So they're using that kind of language around my mother. Oh, I almost said something. But it's so prominent now in the world that it's just become like this accepted thing. So, not to be a prude, but I mean, mercy. Can you not say the F word in a nice restaurant in front of my mother? That would be my preference. And I would, oh my goodness, Hayes, I would make him go wash his mouth out with soap if he did that as an adult in front of people in public. I'd be mortified. I think it's okay to say, hey, can you watch your language around my baby? Can you watch your language around my mom? Thanks. Have a great day. You don't have to be mean. I don't think it's wrong to say something. It's important that our name is integritous. Our name precedes us and follows us. Our reputation is what lasts. When we go to the grave, our reputation, how we honored our name and our commitments and how we lived, the life that we lived will be associated with our name. So I just wanted to focus on that today. Bring it up, talk about it, how to walk it out. And there's no better way to figure out what that is except in this book. So that's it, y'all. All right, happy Friday. Have a beautiful weekend and know that you're loved. See you later.